Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Getting Started with Elite Dangerous. And in this episode we're going to be covering a quick way of making some easy money in the game. It's called Rare Commodities. Now some of you may have heard of Rare Commodities, some of you may have not. The Rare Commodity aspect of the game, basically it's you're taking commodities from the standard commodities market. And the idea is that these items are so rare that you can only obtain this specific item within the station that you're in. And you want to take that commodity as far away as possible from the station that you bought it from in order to gain some, some credits from it. So some of these items can be really cheap to buy, like from the station. They could be anything from like a couple of hundred to a couple of thousand each. But the further and further away you go out, the more and more money people will spend in order to obtain that item, because the item is so rare. It's a very simple mechanic in the game, but it's been under a lot of scrutiny since it was first introduced, because when it first came in, people were, let's just say, it wasn't very well balanced, and it was kind of abused to the way that people were making millions, and I'm literally talking millions. Some people have anacondas right now because of the issue with the rare commodities back in Gamma. But they've kind of, you could say, nerfed it to the point where it's more of a fairer system now. So it can't be abused as much, but it still provides an easy way of making some income at a steady rate. So the idea is that you go to these specific stations and you find this rare commodity. You buy as many as you can, and then you do whatever you want with it. You can take it as far away as possible to the nearest station. Now, my advice is to take it as far away as possible, because the more money people are going to spend on that item. Now, there is a graph. I'll try to find it after the video's over. Someone made like a little graph, basically showing the guy went like hundreds of light years to try and figure out like a pattern, see how much people were going to pay for this rare commodity. And I think it capped out around about 160 light years. So if you bought a commodity from a station and you took it 160 light years or so away, you're going to kind of cap out on the amount that someone's going to spend. So that's like the maximum amount you can sell it for there. If you just take it to the nearby station or to like the nearby system, you're going to get very, very little profit. It's not even going to be able to cover the fuel costs that you're going to take it there for. So you want to stock up as many as you can and take it as far away as possible. Sounds easy, right? It is pretty easy, but you're now thinking, well, why can't I just keep doing this in order to get easy money? Now, the way they've done it is that these items are so rare that the station won't sell many of them to you at a time, because other players are also buying them as well, and other NPCs. So you have a cap, and the cap is random. So you would go to the station and buy as many as you can, and then say, I really don't know, there is a timer, but I can't remember for the life of me what the timer is. But it then refreshes, and then you get another load that you can buy after a certain period of time. But the number can be different. So you can't just keep like farming it, basically. It is on a timer, and you don't get as many each time. Now, there is only specific systems and specific stations that sell these rare commodities. I'm in one of them now. It's in Mansfield Orbiter within Epsilon Indi. And this is one of these stations that sells some rare commodities. Now, there is a 3D map available online, which is community, the community puts the data in, and then some developer puts it into the 3D map for all to view. And it's all the known systems. So not every system that has rare commodities, just the ones that we know about. And I'll put all the info in the description so you can view it yourself. That's where I get my information from. And so what I've done with it, I've kind of jotted a few systems down on my phone. I haven't put many down, just enough to get some, fill up most of my cargo space at least anyway, because I have no idea how many I'm going to be able to buy. So I'm in Epsilon Indi. This is going to be my starting point to buy some rare commodities. And then I'm going to move on to the next system, buy some more there, move to the next system, buy some more there. And I'm just going to go straight to the systems that I know about that I've written down on my phone here. So I can then buy up all the rare commodities as possible, and then I'm going to just travel the opposite direction as far away as possible around. Just for this video, I'm probably going to go 100 to 120 light years away. It depends, really. So there's going to be a lot of traveling around. There's not going to be much action in this. It's just going to show you how rare commodity works and how you can kind of go about doing it yourself. So what I'll do for the whole Super Cruise thing, I'll do the whole speedy uppy moments that I did in my previous video where I kind of like just made it really fast. So it's not too boring, really. Anyway, so let's show you how this works. So if we're going to go to the commodities market, and also before I make a complete embarrassment for myself, I did get my joystick, finally, the X52, Cytec X52 joystick. So you'll have to excuse any landing or taking off errors, because I'm still getting used to this this system right here. You know, you play keyboard and mouse for ages and then you move on to a joystick. It's a lot different. It's like learning the game again. So I'm still getting used to it. So things going to be a little bit slow with the whole landing and takeoff thing. But so I'm just kind of give you a heads up on that, really, before I do embarrass myself. Anyway, let's go to the commodities market. And we're going to go through here. So as you can see here, this is the rare commodity here in Epsilon Indi. It's called Indi Bourbon. And you can tell it's rare because it's got a different color to the rest of the commodities. Now, because I'm using a special color scheme, I don't know what it is on the standard color scheme, but on my one, if you're using mine, it's kind of got that highlighted kind of light bluish color, which you can see on the screen there. I'm just highlighting it there. If I move away, you can see the different colors. And the name of the rare commodity, it will have kind of part of the system name that you're in before the actual item it is. So here it's Indi, because I'm in Epsilon Indi. So it's kind of used part of the system name and put it before the product. What we're going to do now with this product is we're going to buy as many as we can. And it looks like I'm capping out at just one. So it looks like it's in high demand. I checked earlier, just before I started recording, I could buy 2. So it looks like the supply is not so, it says high supply, but it's obviously not, because it's got 0 left on the screen there. So yeah, you need to kind of be quick about things, because NPCs are buying them and so are other players as well. Now there is a cap per person, but it still takes away from the overall supply of the station, if that makes any sense. Anyway, so I've got the one piece of bourbon, which didn't cost much, and it's not going to make me much money on its own. So I'm going to go over to the galaxy map, and we'll go down to the galaxy map here. And I'm going to use the mouse for the galaxy map because it's a lot easier. The next station I'm going to go to is a place called Altair, which isn't that far away, luckily. And this is another station with some rare commodities, so we're going to go there. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stations listed, which I'm going to travel to and buy as much rare commodities as I can. If it's not much, then it's not much, but this is the route that I took before, and I filled up around, I think there's one other station I did before, and I filled up around 30 tons worth of cargo, and it did net me quite a bit of profit. So I'm just going to go to these 5 for now, and we'll see where it can take us. So off we go to Altair. Okay, so we made it to Altair, and we are going to check. Hopefully they'll actually have some of the rare commodity here. And there it is. We can buy 12 of them, so we better buy them quick. This is the Altarian skin. That's great, because the more I buy, the more I can sell. The more I can sell equals more profit. So if you look here on the averages, I'm going to use the mouse here just to show you. Now the Altarian skin, I'm buying it here at 758 credits per item, and the galactic average is 8.4 thousand credits. Now that's just the average, so it's going to take the highest point that's selling it and the lowest point and gain the average between them. So if I go even further, I could probably get more than 8.4 thousand credits for them. So just bear that in mind. That's still a huge profit per item. That's insane. So you can see where the money's really going to come in here. So I bought all 12 of them. So what I'll do now is I'm going to travel to the rest of the systems, and rather than just wasting your time traveling to all, I'll probably do that magical video editing, and I'll gather as much as I can. Now before I do, I want you to know just one thing. Now, you are buying legitimate commodities here, and you need to remember what kind of commodity you are buying. So let's have a look at this other commodity that I've got here. I've got the Indi bourbon. Now, this is an alcoholic beverage, right? So there are some systems where alcohol is forbidden. So even if you're traveling with alcohol, even if you're traveling with legitimate alcohol, you're going to get scammed, you're going to get fined. So you've got to be careful what system you're going in. Some systems won't buy it. I had this issue before where I went into the system, I couldn't buy it, I had to end up selling it on the black market, which is basically half the price which I could have sold it for if I went to a market which did buy alcohol. So just remember that when you're selling these rare commodities, they work just like normal commodities. If you're going to take it to a system where it's illegal, then you're going to get scammed, you're going to get fined. So try to go through the smuggling route before you start, going in and trying to sell it legally on the market, because some stations you can't. So just bear that in mind when you are going in to sell those commodities. And I'll jump through the rest of these systems and gather as much as I can, and I'll meet you on the other side. Alright, so I made it to my last station for now. Obviously, I could get more. Let's have a look at my cargo holds. See, I've still got 11 tons of cargo left to do it, but obviously for the sake of this tutorial, I don't want to waste your time, and we'll just basically showing you guys how to get this done. So, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to look at the galaxy map to see exactly where I am and the stations where I bought from to kind of figure out the distance. Now, I'm in a place called Ethgrees. Now, Ethgrees is actually quite far away from the place where I was at last time, which was Iranin. So if I go to the navigation and search for Iranin, so you see, I just traveled from all the way down here, and that's 42 light years away. And if we go to the first station, which was Epsilon, I can't spell, Epsilon Indi, and that's 93 light years away. So, I don't even have to travel that far to get a good profit on the Epsilon Indi. I could just travel upwards about 30, well, maybe like 3 jumps away, and I'll probably be able to get max profit on the Epsilon stuff. But obviously, I've gone higher and higher up to gather my stuff. And where I'm at now is, if I just do all the way here, see it all the way over there. Wow, I've traveled quite a distance. So, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to travel probably further upwards. So I'm here. I'm going to probably travel... See, my jump range on my Cobra is pretty good. So if I just keep jumping as high as possible, how far away? That's 67 light years away. So that should actually give me some decent profits. What's that? 70 light years away, and it's within jump distance. So I'm going to target there. I don't think I can get any higher. What's that on there? So 71, so it's not going to make a huge difference there. So I'm going to go to this, but it doesn't have any stations there. So I need to find something around about that distance that does have some station. And how I know is, if you look here, it's got no system view available, which means there's no known stations in that area. So I don't want to be messing around looking for a place to go to. So if I keep going upwards a bit more, these are coal hip. No. There's this one down here. Has this got a name? No. See, Lave is all the way down there. Lave is quite a popular system. Has this got something? Nope. Okay, so there's some over here. It's 78 light years away, so it's even further. Let's have a look at the system view. See if it's got something with a commodities market. Oh, that's got a funky planet there as well. And it's got, there we go, Bull Port. Now, facilities, commodities, and what's prohibited? Luckily, alcohol isn't prohibited. So, we can, yeah, export. So it's exporting liquor. So, yeah, we can go over to here, to Bull Port. And I think that's the best place to go. So, how far away is it? It's quite the jump, as you can see. So I'll do some of that magical video editing again, get to this station, and we'll have a look at those great profits. Alright, so as I'm approaching this place, because it is quite far, it's about 4,000 light seconds away, well, not as far as placing Alpha Centauri. Bear that in mind. A quick tip: don't go to Alpha Centauri. Okay, the link that I'm going to give you in the description has the 3D map, and one of them is in Alpha Centauri. Don't go there, because the port that has the rare commodity is 0.22 light years away. That is a lot of travel time in Super Cruise, and I started going at it. I hit about 1,200 times the speed of light. That's 1,200 C. And I still had 0.21 light years to go, and it said that there's about an hour remaining to get there. So, yeah, just avoid that system at all costs, because, yeah, until they introduce some sort of mini jumps into the game, there's no point going there at all. It's just a waste of time. Yeah, so as I am approaching this, there's a couple of other tips I want to tell you. First of all, get a fuel scoop. Now, I'm not using a fuel scoop for this, because I kind of just want to get there and show you. You want to refuel on the stars as often as possible, because fuel can cost a lot of money, especially if you're in a bigger trader ship like the Type 6 or the Type 9. The Type 9 especially is going to cost you a fortune to refuel. So, and the profits you're going to make from this rare trading is going to be directly impacted by the amount of fuel that you're going to use. And there is a lot of traveling, especially when you're traveling hundreds of light years away. You're really need a fuel scoop to really to save on the profits, you know, to get maximum amount of profit from your trade run. The other tip that I want to tell you about as well is avoid doing this in a smaller ship like a Sidewinder or an Eagle, because you don't get a lot of tonnage with the cargo that you get on that ship. And the idea behind rare commodity trading is to get as much as possible to get the bigger profits. It's really like a massive scalability going on. If you only have a small amount of cargo, then you're really not going to make much money, especially when you think about fuel and everything else coming into play. In fact, you'll probably end up losing money. So you need to think through really how you're going to play it, because I'm doing it in my Cobra because I've got good jump distance. I've got 32 tons of cargo. I don't know if I'm going to get a huge amount of profit for this run, because I'm only really showing you guys and I haven't maxed out on my cargo. But, okay, where's the entrance? Oh, it's over there. Okay. Yeah, so you really want to consider what kind of ship you've got, and if you can actually afford to be doing this trade run in the ship that you're using.
Landing gear not deployed. Landing gear deployed. Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
Alright, so let's see how much money I make from this. As you can see, refuel, I didn't really refuel on the stars. I only kind of skimmed it if I needed to get across it to jump the next thing. So that's 5,500 credits I've just lost there from refueling. Plus all the other stations, traveling in between the other stations as well. So you need to kind of calculate in your head how much profit you're actually going to make from this. We'll go to the commodities market. Let's have a look. First of all, as you can see, you know how I mentioned earlier with the galactic average, 8,000 credits? Here, I can sell it for 15,000 credits. That's almost double the galactic average because I'm further away. As I said, it takes the minimum and the maximum and calculates the mean average between them. And I'm like hundreds of light years away from Altair, so I can just sell all of it. And how much am I going to get? It's 180,000 credits just for one of those. Alright. Well, not one, just for the one rare commodity. So there's 12 of them. And let's have a look at these T-buds. Now, I could travel further. As you can see, the galactic average. Ethgrees was the last one I was in, which was, what, 70 light years away? So if I doubled that distance, I would probably get around 10 to 12,000 credits. But I'll sell these anyway. There's still 5,000 credits. I can't remember. I think it was 1,000 each I bought them for. Well, it gives me the profit margin here, actually. Profit, 6,930. And then we'll go down to the Pearl Whiskey. I can sell 5 of them. The selling it for 10,000. Galactic average is 9,000. And the profit is 43,000 credits. And the Indi Bourbon, I bought that for like 200 credits, didn't I? So... and that's 16,000 credits here, so that's 15,000 profit. So I made quite a ton of money there. I didn't keep the numbers in my head, but I'd like to go over them after the video just to check. And I can already see I'm in the black looking at my total balance, because when I first started I was like 2.6 million. And minus all the traveling just to get to the place, because I was in a place way far away before I even started this video. So it's nice to see I'm still in the black after all that traveling. So as I mentioned, you need to consider what kind of ship you're in, how much fuel it's going to cost you to get to all these different places, plus the money for the commodity itself, and really think how much profit am I going to make. Have a look at the galactic average. I'd look at, if you can probably calculate it in your head. If the galactic average is about 8,000, as mentioned, you could probably get up to like 10, even up to 15,000 the further out you go. There is a cap around about 160 light years or so, but you'll need to be 160 light years away from that station where you bought it from, not from the last station where you bought a different product from. You need to be 160 light years away from that station. So I would like suggest planning a route beforehand. If you're going to go through a system, kind of start at the bottom and then work your way up and then carry on going northwards, you know, going upwards to get the best profits here. Now, a couple of other tips. When you sell your product, it works just like trading. So you're actually, whatever station that you're at, whatever system that whatever faction that they're aligned with, it's going to affect their economy. So if you want to help a independent system, well, if you want to help someone become independent within a faction control system, so if you go into a place which is under control of the Alliance, for example, and you're trying to affect the economy there to help them go into like civil war to gain independence, then rare trading, selling at that specific station will help boost that economy, just like with normal trading does, okay? So it will also affect your reputation. So I think this is an independent area, as you can see here. It says independent. Now, there is no independent faction, obviously, because it's independent. But if I was to do this selling in a Federation-controlled station, then it would affect my reputation for the Federation. But apart from that, if you do have any questions about rare commodity trading or just like trading in general or anything, just leave a comment below as usual. And in the meantime, fly safe.